Last year, I was working 40 plus hours a week, fully booked, making money, juggling clients, and completely burnt out. I nearly shut my laptop and never opened it again. This is the episode where I tell you what burnout really looked like and how a spontaneous trip to India helped me reset everything. Back in Business is the unfiltered podcast for service providers, founders, and women in business who are done pretending it's all smooth sailing. This is the real, slightly chaotic, often hilarious side of business, the part you don't see but absolutely need to hear. Join me, Kim Zojba, Executive Virtual Assistant, Business Manager and multiple business owner, as I share honest conversations from my own journey and fellow businesswomen. We go behind the brands to talk about the moments that shape our businesses, big wins, fuck-ups, mindset shifts, strategy and everything in between. This is Business, Unfiltered, and you're definitely not doing it alone. So today I want to talk about burnout, the kind that sneaks up on you even when everything looks successful. Because last year I was booked out working with amazing clients, making a lot of money, and I was absolutely falling apart behind the scenes. So let me take you back to around October 2024. I was working over 45 to 50 hours a week, and we had a family trip to Italy planned. My intention was to properly switch off, 2 weeks of no laptop, no emails, just time with my family, but that didn't happen. I was working in the mornings, trying to squeeze in holiday time in the afternoon, and then jumping back online in the evenings. And when I got back, instead of slowing down, everything just got worse. I knew something wasn't right when one of my longest standing clients, who's never had to chase me on anything, started following up. Another client's podcast went out late, tasks were piling up, my inbox was absolute chaos, and clients were messaging me, asking me if I was okay. And that's when it hit me. I was not okay. I was not okay at all. And I promised this podcast would be unfiltered, so here it is. My burnout didn't come from overwhelm, it came from greed. From chasing too many opportunities, from not saying no when I should have. I had a discovery call with a dream client and said yes, even though I was already fully booked. Then another dream client came along who had an amazing project, and I said yes again. I was already fully booked, I was at full capacity, and I just kept stacking. And at the same time, my regular clients got busier, heading into the end of the year, when usually things get a bit quiet around Christmas, but suddenly they got busier and I took on more work. And I was literally, I shit you not, working from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night, and some weekends as well. And sure, I was making a lot of money, but at what cost? My son would say things like, "Don't ask mummy, she's working again," or "Oh, mummy can't come because she's too busy." And I just felt like I was failing at work and failing at home and failing as a mother. The house was a mess. I was missing school emails, so which means my kids missed trips and events because I wasn't on top of everything. I felt like I literally couldn't breathe. I was tired, emotional, disconnected, and totally overwhelmed. And here's the thing, burnout isn't always this big dramatic crash. It builds quietly. So I wanted to share a few symptoms I completely ignored at the time, and maybe you might even recognize some of them. So I was constantly tired, even after sleeping. Like, I just felt constantly drained all the time. I was really snappy, even more than usual. I was emotional over the smallest of things. You start to miss like little details and you're making mistakes you wouldn't normally make. Like I would send emails without subjects, I would write the wrong name, address the email to the wrong name. And I even had clients like, Kim, what's wrong with you? This is not like you. And I felt like I was constantly apologizing all the time for mistakes, and that's not me at all. And I was dreading opening my laptop. And I absolutely love my work. Like, I don't think there's ever been a day where I've hated going to work. Yes, some days I like, oh, I would rather sit outside on the terrace in the sun, but I don't hate going to work. I love my job, and I was dreading opening my laptop every day. Like, I just felt numb, just feel like you're just going through the motions, and don't know how to stop it. I just stopped doing stuff for myself. I wasn't going on walks. I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't having any breaks. I wasn't taking time out. I wasn't having lunches or anything like that. I just couldn't think creatively. I couldn't make decisions. I was a nightmare. And just everything felt really heavy, and it just felt like life was too much. And if that sounds familiar, then please listen to what your body's telling you. And at the time, I told myself I was just busy. And I kept telling everybody, I'm just busy, and it will slow down and it will get better. But actually, I was shutting down. My body and my brain were just done. And if I'd have ignored it any longer, I probably would have walked away from my whole business completely. At one point, I honestly considered closing my laptop and never opening it again. And then someone said it, you're burning out. Now, I used to think that burnout was just something people said when they were a bit tired, but what I experienced was real. Like, I could cry at the drop of a hat. I was emotionally fried. My quality of work had dropped. My clients noticed, my family noticed, my relationship was hugely affected. And then came this unexpected moment. A friend of mine was going to a wedding in Sri Lanka and planned to stop off in India to visit a friend of ours that we'd met online, another amazing businesswoman, and we've known her for years. And I was invited to go. At first, I laughed because I was like, I can't just take off to India. I've got clients, I've got deadlines, I've got family. Like, I can't do that. I'm not a digital nomad. I have this strict schedule that I need to follow. But after a serious heart to heart with my husband, I said yes. And I told my clients. And funny enough, every single one of them was so supportive. I don't know why I ever assumed that they wouldn't be. So I booked it. 3 weeks, Mumbai, and in Sri Lanka. It was literally a trip of a lifetime. Sri Lanka was on the top of my bucket list since I was 6 years old, and I had literally booked the plane tickets. But my plan was to fill that once in a lifetime trip with full of once in a lifetime bucket list experiences. Like, I wanted to see the elephants, I wanted to go on retreats, I wanted to visit culture, I wanted to eat lots of food, I wanted to travel India and the whole of Sri Lanka and swim in waterfalls and do all these things that you do when you travel India. And I had every intention of checking everything off my bucket list when I got there. But something really unexpected happened. And when I got to Sri Lanka in India, I did literally nothing. And surprisingly, I wasn't mad about it. And if you know me, I'm one of these people. I love lists, I love plans, I love schedules, I love itineraries. When we go on holiday, I am the itinerary person and I plan everything. So for me to sit and do nothing, especially in my bucket list destination, I should have been completely and utterly hating myself. But I wasn't mad at all. I literally spent my days speaking with new people, eating incredible food, wandering around slowly, resting, reflecting. I didn't journal or document or turn anything into any type of travel blog or content. I didn't do a single retreat. I just existed for 3 weeks, and that was exactly what I needed. And when I came home, I was clear on one thing, that something had to change. I had to change something. I spoke with my clients and explained how I was going to be working moving forward, what I needed, what I would no longer be available for. I let go of some tasks and I let go of people that I no longer aligned with. And slowly I started to build a business that worked for me again. It opened up space for so much creativity, so much clarity that I had been suppressing for so long, this podcast being one of them. It helped me finally start moving on with projects I've had sitting on the shelf for literally years. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Burnout is real. It's not just something people say when you're a little bit tired. Oh, you're burning out. No, this shit is real. And it's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Sometimes the warning signs are subtle, like forgetting a task or snapping at someone, and sometimes they hit you like a freaking brick wall. But either way, burnout is your body and your mind saying, enough. Like, enough is enough. And please, please don't ignore it. Don't push through it until you break. Don't be afraid to pause, to reset, or to say no. Because for me, burnout was the thing that made me rebuild. Without it, I wouldn't be stepping into this new phase of my business or myself. So if you've been through burnout or you're feeling like you're on the edge of it now, I'd genuinely love to hear from you. Come and share your story with me. You can DM me, email me, tag me in a post. I'm genuinely interested in giving you space to share. And if this episode hit home, I'd be so grateful for you to follow the podcast, leave a quick review, send it to a friend who might need it. And that's all. So thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next one.